Davor was afraid he would chew his head off, so he decided to make up a fake name. My name is Swato Runier. In Davor's head, visualize an image of a boy with a sunny smile, named Skrundo Runier, 32 years old and currently single. But this name is getting more and more disgusting. Unfortunately, Davor's mind is blank right now. Completely. Can't think of a more suitable name. So can we call you Mr. Skrundo? If you want, that's fine. Well then, Mr. Skrundo. First of all, I thank you very much for saving me. Although that's a bit unnecessary. This child is generally polite. Every little bit of whimsy also says a lot. Davor lost patience and waved his hand, telling her to talk less. But Arian's mouth, still not listening and continuing to operate at full capacity. No, without your help. I'm a bit embarrassed to admit, but without you, then we may have lost to their attack. So he saved me. But it's not like I need you to save me. Notes on Little Demon King Arian's speech. 1,000 words have been omitted. Davor was so dizzy when he heard it that he finally heard it. Also waiting to get to the key point, Arian said, because he saved her, she also wanted to help him in return. Is there anything you want me to help you with? Black Skin quickly responded, like a drowning person reaching for a straw to save his life. So do you know the way to Hasty Town? Ha. Look at her attitude. Davide's heart blooms more and more like spring flowers. Just ask Arian to tell you the way to that town. Then Greena can return. But life is not like a dream. Because right after that, Arian poured Durar a bucket of cold water. So what is Hashtin? A smile was all over his black-skinned face. This girl doesn't know what Hashtin Town is. Not to mention the way to get there. Violated so much time here. In the end, no positive results were obtained. Davor silently considered the matter. Should I swallow this little girl into my stomach? Alright then. So where is the nearest human village? In the end, Davor still did not choose to do so. Anyway, it's preschool. The future of the demon world is on parole. Agria knows this. The nearest place is the city of Lias. After Davor heard it, he disappeared even more quickly. Older brother. And yet, it's already teleported close to the royal capital. But it's important. If traveling by human horse carriage, then the time moves from Hashtin to Liri. It will take about 2 months. What's the matter, Mr. Skrundo? Is there a problem? Too far away. Davor has officially collapsed. Far away, I understand. So you want to go to a far place. So how about using the teleportation wheel? Don't you know what that is? Davor doesn't really know. Ariana finally found something she knew. But Mr. Swato doesn't know. So I'm happy to explain. The wheel moves instantly. It's something that humans create. By magic and alchemy. Currently this device can teleport people through space. But as far as she knew, that thing is currently in the capital Lias. Arian was so devoted that he led Davor all the way to Lays. Although he wasn't sure if Greena would go to the capital. But if I can find any more clues, that would be good. Arian knows. Davor is searching for the whereabouts of a silver-haired girl. I also promised to help you with my best. But aren't you the Demon King? So what about your palace? If you're worried about me, there's no need to go. Arian revealed a mischievous smile. I am the Demon King. Born into this ultimate body to rule. That palace is not important. Because wherever we are, that is the demon world. And the surrounding demons are all my soldiers. Black Skin thought for a moment. In other words, this brat can summon demons at will. Truly formidable strength. That's right, we can summon demons at will. But we have never tried it. Of course, children are still children. Not trustworthy at all. Arian saw Davor's disdainful expression. Then he quickly shouted indignation. That her father could do it. So surely she can do the same. With both anyway. That palace was also completely destroyed by Davor. Can't continue to stay anymore. That's why she left the palace and followed him to wander like this. is not unreasonable at all. That's enough chit-chat. Ariana, back to the main issue. That's collecting 10 information about the green for Davidair. But I always have a hunch. If I go with this brat, he'll get into trouble. But that's it. If you think too much, things will always come to you. First place. Fairy Arian led Davidair to a tavern. Look at the full glass of beer in front of your eyes. He officially confirmed the trouble. The biggest one right now is Arian. We still have a long way to go. Why are you wasting your time here, Arian? She just raised her beer glass. I gulp it all down in one gulp. Then interrogate for a long time. It's been a long time since I've had alcohol in my mouth. This feeling is so almost and gone. It seems you don't understand the human world. Pub. This is the place to find the most useful information. Seeing Devar looking at me with suspicious eyes, Ariana continued to explain. Just try looking around and listening. Every story is valuable information, but you can't get it anywhere else. Davar looked around at all the drunkards, but what Ariana noticed was something else. It was a pin board filled with pieces of paper. Carry different information. Davar came forward to take a look. The first thing that attracted him. This is a list of conquering teams. Active in the dungeon. This information has the effect of preventing multiple teams from entering the same dungeon at the same time, because that will affect the division of shares. Special reward for this. Arian has great contempt for humanity, because she knows the more people there are, the higher the success rate. But people out of greed choose the few, like a moth ready to jump into a sea of flames. Regardless, this is a good thing for us anyway. Why us? Arian quickly noticed something unusual. In the words of developer, are you also a devil in the dungeon? Devar was so heartbroken that he sweated profusely. This kid is suddenly so smart. Arian kept asking questions. But he doesn't want outsiders to know too much. So just gloss over it. Arian saw that Daver was determined not to speak. Then don't force it anymore. The Daver mat glides quickly across the board. He bumped into another notice. On it is the name of your dungeon. Luckily, at the present time, this dungeon conquering team list is empty. That means they still have time to find drama. You're watching something, watch it. Davidair gave Agria the paper he was reading. She let out a loud scream. Seems to be very interested in the ancient core. You also know this dungeon, right? Blackskin just idly asked a question. Yet I accidentally touched the machine's switch. Say this. Arian kept talking endlessly about the ancient core. That it was one of the 7 great dungeons. Every devil's dream. The ruler of this dungeon. Also the owner of creation. Defender of God. He punishes those blinded by greed. The supreme being of all demons in this realm. Arian talked about Daver with eyes sparkling like stars. Without knowing it, the person she always admired was walking right next to her. You know? The red hell that I have always dreamed of is that ancient core. I want to become stronger. Because if stronger, we may meet Mr. Devar in the future. Black Skin really wants to talk. That you're talking to that guy. But of course it's impossible. He just had to say a few random words. Accompany this child. Then Arian started talking about his father again. That he is very strong. A true demon king. Worthy of that noble position. Unfortunately, humanity still has stronger people. Asmodeus ended the life of the majestic demon king. It was a young hero carrying something. Is he the hero who defeated the demon king? I really don't want to meet him at all. Davida. Probably unbelievable. The person sitting in front. It was the one who swallowed the young hero. He once killed his father in a yawn. The more Arian talked, the more thoughtful he became. She didn't want to spend her life governing a dungeon, as her father truly wished. It's for the people of the demon world. Can build their own dungeons. And that's what motivated Arian. Must become stronger. How do you think it's great? For the first time, Davidair didn't find Arian annoying. It's true that youth is good, always full of dreams and ambitions. He remembered himself before, just like Ariana now, full of energy and confidence. Devourer once led a powerful army, confessing the 6 realms. He tries to understand all the knowledge in this world. Try to learn more than anyone. Devar also helps poor people, because they touched his heart. Many times the Devourer gave them everything. But in the end, he realized again that everything was in vain. Now Lord Devar's goal is only one. That means sleeping all day. Dreaming high all day long is like me, but probably the same as you. Arian spoke for a while. By now, he had been soaked in alcohol and collapsed onto the table. About a second later, he started snoring. Davar had no choice but to rent a room, then carried the baby up to the room. But that's why. He didn't notice that people had arrived. Information panel to change conquest quests. This should have been posted yesterday. But the bar owner forgot. But the content of the new notice. It's something the developer doesn't want to see at all. 7 ancient core dungeons. Conquest teams are participating in Filmo. Belongs to Filmo Rubella. Includes 31 members of the new movie captain. Conquest time limit is 72 hours from the date of announcement. Early the next morning, Arian woke up in a daze. His head hurt like a hammer. Davar also yawned. Just saw Arian's appearance. He was so scared that he fell backwards. Mr. Swando, why are you so startled? My eyes are damaged. Why do you look like a child? We are not children. Is that like a teenager? Arian was so embarrassed that he became angry. Used a dirty fist to land on Devar's face. He did not protest, because I'm still surprised at just sleeping. And Arian has become such a small child. But she just kicked and punched her ears and hair. Just explained that I'm not getting any smaller. Looks like yesterday. The black skin that I saw was originally transformed by magic. It's like that when confronting humanity. Arian was not looked down upon by them. And the current appearance is the true form of Arian. It's transformation magic. It is possible for temporary users. Bring your future look. Or in other words, when growing up, I will also be as beautiful as yesterday. But you see, Arian tilted his head up to the sky and laughed so hard that he was speechless. Looks like this girl isn't the only troublemaker, but still selfish. He sat down on the ground until he was at Arian's eye level. Then seriously observed the child in front of him. Are you clear, Sir Swando? I am not a child, He answered not sincerely at all. That's not important. It's important. We have to go buy new clothes for you. Devar was tired of presenting, because currently Arian looks like he's swimming in his parents' clothes. At the same time in the territory, Count Hashton, the army that conquered the ancient core departed from Leah's, came here. They asked the Count to immediately open the city gate. Welcoming this makes the doctor work. Count and Lord of Hashton region. Firefly eyes exploded. Inherently suitable for vaults above level B. The intrusion must have permission from the Lord of that area. But this time, the conquest team came here without warning. He also asked the Lord to personally welcome him. This is clearly disrespectful of him. But most of them are people of the 3 labels. This association belongs to the royal family. The conquering team this time also came to serve the royal family. So no matter how angry you are, the nurse cannot do anything else. You think this conquest team, is it possible to enter the center of the ancient core? The maid next to her heard this question. Just stay silent and shake your head. That is indeed what the doctor is thinking. This time the army has only 31 people. Leading the way is Nifrim, a strange name. Doctors cannot guess. 3 labels and what the royal family is thinking. But he was worried. If they keep conquering the ancient core, kind of half-hearted like that, then Harton will soon falling into crisis. Why Tag started thinking about things. Should we ask for a stronger conquest team? And his maid. I suggested the winged magic tower. This is the same branch as before. Green has come to sell mana stones. But how could an outsider like him know this? He only found out recently. The winged magic tower just collected 10. Get a large amount of mana stones. High quality of unknown origin. Even though I don't know the deeper reason. But the doctor speculated that this laying the foundation for a dungeon conquest. After all, the wings are a level a magic tower. There are more high-quality mana stones like that. So conquering the ancient core is completely possible. Think about this. The nurse immediately made his own decision. Take the entrusted wings to the magic tower. Promise them that I will give them lots of money and fame. So let's go conquer the ancient core. Before those three-eyed group can set foot there. But this is not so easy to do. Because right after that, the nurse's office door was kicked open. Are you a medical lord? Who are you, Nifim? Because he refused to open the gate. Even though we called many times. So I took the liberty of entering here. Nifim also has no basis. The nurse sat down directly on the sofa nearby. When the lord questioned why they came here, without asking permission, he immediately showed an extremely scary expression. Haven't you already received the papers from the royal family? Why? Is there a reason why we can't come here? Hey Nifrim, what's with that look on your face? You're smiling. We are guests. By the way, I want to eat something sweet. Prepare me some chocolate. The blue-haired one seemed a bit more gentle. But in reality it is also giving orders to the nurse. Although very angry. But these are all people personally sent by the royal family. Cannot be touched. He had to swallow his anger. Then send the maid to prepare food as requested. And he sat down opposite the other two people. New documents were sent here one day. You guys are really fast. When will it depart? I was originally planning to go today. But because of an emergency, I will only leave tomorrow. So there it is. No doctor wants to prolong the time a bit. In time to send a mandate to the winged magic tower. So, he bet on Nifim with his conquest team. Please stay here for the next few days. When your body and mood are most comfortable. But he flatly refused. If you don't care about us, it's okay. Well, stop by the wing's magic tower a bit. Then leave immediately. Why don't you have any acquaintances there when you go there? That's not the reason. I thought I was going there to kill them all. Nifin's savage expression. Once again, he slapped his ribs until he felt goosebumps. He didn't understand why he thought like that. It was like understanding the Lord's concerns. Nifim spoke up to explain immediately that Hashtin is inherently a very loose security area. In a place like this, using magic to eavesdrop is as easy as it sounds. The whole plan was about inviting the magic tower to have wings. Cross the road. 3 label conquering team. But the doctor calculated. They've been eavesdropping on everything. We heard the royal command to come to this border place. Conquer that. Do you think we will obediently give up? We will eliminate anyone who causes trouble. Sorry. I will not request any more conquest teams. Leave whenever you want. Under pressure from the Nifrim Lord, he had to give in. This bastard is clearly human. Yet the threat is terrifying. No less than the devil. Patchik is now in the dungeon. Train your arm muscles with mannequins made from clay. With the sharp intuition of a skeleton soldier. He is recognizable. The time for the enemy to attack is very close. On this side, follow Agra's instructions. Davar finally reached the city gate. He told the gate guards, regarding the fact that I want to use the wheel axle. Instant teleportation. But he replied that that thing was still far away. Specifically, it is located in the citadel to the right of the royal palace. And if you want to go there, Davar will have to go through 3 more layers of city walls. How long does it take to get there? Davar asked suspiciously. Because hearing this makes me feel wrong. Let's see. If I walked, it would probably take me a week at least. After a week of wearing it, I almost screamed. Scared the other guard into being startled. It's not okay with this situation. Not only can't find Granda, even Patrick will leave home. Davidair seemed to fall into a deep pit of despair. Ariana gave him a suggestion, that they can use flying spells. But this is not feasible at all, because if you use mana to cast magic, then they will be discovered by humans. Furthermore, the flow of mana in the Daver's body is too large. If released without control, then tragedy will happen. When both Devourer and Arian, still scratching my head, then a savior appeared. Are you two in trouble? Sorry for eavesdropping, but it seemed like the two of them were trying to get to the teleportation gate. That's right, it's not. But who are you? I am a flying charioteer. The newly arrived old man pointed to the carriage in the back. It was pulled by a strange-looking creature. There are wings on the back. He introduced. This is a 4th-generation homogeneous waste product. The result of a plan. Production of artificial angels. Deployed by the Empire. Although it looks a bit disgusting, this creature is very healthy. Know how to obey and, importantly, know how to fly. Unfortunately, it has been eliminated. Because the original goal cannot be achieved. Is to destroy churches. Position. Is the human homoceles experiment over yet? Arian wondered. There is no such thing. This empire will never give up such power. But that's not very important right now. Ariana examined the carriage for a while. It seemed really sturdy. The old driver also introduced himself. If they travel by this means, it only takes 3 hours to reach the teleportation gate, plus 1 hour of customs clearance. Should take a total of 4 hours. And the cost is 8 outs of gold for the trip. When Davidair heard this, his jaw dropped. 8 pawns of gold means 800 pawns of silver. Yesterday they stayed at the boarding house. The tavern only spent 8 pawns of silver. This is truly an exorbitant price. Sorry, sir. I don't have that much money. Arya was confused. But do you think I do? Davidair started scratching his head again. Meanwhile, he accidentally touched a bundle of something in his pocket. When I opened it, I saw the note that Patrick left. Dear clumsy boss, there will come a time when you will be grateful to me. Patrick. Comes with a few gold coins thanks to it. Their trip can now depart. Arian sits on the flying chariot, starting to wonder that. Who gave the developer so much money? Subordinates in my secret dungeon. Yes, you were originally a dungeon monster. So why are you wandering around like that? Can I be kicked out? Black didn't want to tell too much, so he made it up. A reason to satisfy this brat's curiosity. So your subordinates were also kicked out like you. That's right. Daver got angry and asked why he asked so many questions. Really jealous. Even though he was banished, he still had subordinates. Worried to the core. I also want to have a companion like that. I also want to live a life like you. Someone cares about you. And he also takes care of them. There's nothing happier than that. Arian turned serious. This quiet. As a Davar, you also have to meditate and think. A few hours later they reached the wheel hub. But misfortune follows misfortune. It is currently forced to shut down. Because it ensures the safety of the auction. And it won't be able to work again until 8 o'clock. If you're interested, you can join our auction. The receptionist gave the developer a leaflet. Inside is information about the auction. It is held with a single auction item. That's a beheading claw. One of the 36 masterpieces of virtue. Just found recently. Deviler felt like lightning had struck his ears. This is Greena's unmistakable weapon. This world has only one unique weapon. Number 2 like this. So why is it in the hands of humanity? Maybe Green has encountered something unforeseen. Davidair feels extremely unreasonable that Greener is very strong. Even the bosses of the other 7 great dungeons still have to be careful with her. It's not natural. Greener is known by the name again. Maids use swords. So what's the reason? Humanity threatens her life again. And robbed him with his claws and beheaded him. Davar begins to reminisce. Last time I saw Greener. Her outfit at that time. Looks like there's no more room to hide the weapon. So when fighting humanity, are you really okay? Greener is different from Patrick. Without a sword he could still handle it. It's just that, if he uses a sword, Patrick is even stronger. But Greene is not like that. So if the maid uses a sword, she will be disarmed. So what does she have left? The more he thought about it, the more confused his mind became. Ariana is also panicking now. Because Mr. Suedo's face is so bad right now. Daver clenched his fists. His body began to transform. The same flow of mana is constantly fluctuating, gradually losing control. So Green, my subordinates, was murdered by that low-class human. Star transformation process of Davar threatened that receptionist to fall. Sit back. He couldn't hide his horror. Keep screaming, "Don't come here, you monster." But Davar didn't mind at all. Because at this time reason remains. It is not enough to master the body. Same with that rushing flow of mana. There was only one thought in his mind. That is, if Drama was murdered by ordinary humanity, then it's up to you to kill all the bastards here. It's just common sense. Sir Suado, Ariana shouted. She used her tiny hands to hold on to Devar's arm. Mr. Suano, calm down and come to your senses. What the hell is going on? Please answer me quickly. Black Skin turned his head and gave her a blank look. Very sympathetic. I will only say it once. Claws decapitate. One of 36 masterpieces. Virtue is something that has only one. Only one of a kind in the world. Is it true? As far as I know, that's true. But why did you suddenly ask that? Because I have been looking for it for a long time. It belongs to a friend of mine. We must find it. You don't need to help me anymore. Thank you for your recent journey. Diro bluntly shook off Ariana's hand. The last bit of reason. Let me know I shouldn't hurt this girl. Now you know the way to Hashtin. So Devar sincerely advises Ariana. From this moment on, you should stay away from me. The farther the better. But Ariana is not such an obedient child. Sir Suado is that friend you mentioned. A demon in the form of a silver-haired woman. A warrior uses his claws to decapitate a maid using a sword. Miss Green, is it true? Daver doesn't think. This kid suddenly became smart. Such a sudden thing. But he didn't want Arian interfering too deeply in my affairs. There's something about glaring menacingly, or use that scary voice. No longer works. Little girl too. Because Arian already knows the Deverer's true identity. Anyway, Green's reputation is great. If only Davar had confirmed it himself. Greener is your friend. Then the realization that you are the master of the ancient core is not difficult at all. Okay, I am Davar, he admitted. But this sentence didn't even reach Arian's ears. Mr. Suado. Definitely a subordinate of the ancient core master Davar. That's right. Enemy. Is this girl born stupid or has she been trained? Davidair sighed deeply and ignored it. No more excuses or objections. I don't know what dangerous thoughts you have. So I will help you and you cannot refuse. Don't worry anymore. We can help you now. Daver suddenly discovered this girl. Apart from being a bit mercurial. Even if you don't know anything, it's still very trustworthy. And so it was the next day at the auction. Ariam. Appearing with the same appearance as the first time Daver saw it. She even tried to dress up. Makeup is meticulous. To look more like a noble lady. Ariana and Davar arrived at the back door of the auction. Here it is as deserted as Badan Pagoda. And there was only one guard guarding the gate. Because all the guests came to participate. I'll go through the main door. Then we went to the auction. Is it possible to enter from this door? SS this WAI. But first, I have to get the identities of two people. What are the names of the two people? I am an Aryan from the Mers family. And this is the servant Suano. The guard checked the guest list. But I don't see her name. That's natural. But Aryan is not very stressed. She pretended to ask Davar if he had brought an invitation letter. And while the other guard was still wondering, this auction, no invitation letter was sent anywhere. Then Davar gave him a heavy punch. This invitation is an invitation to that person's next life. Finished dealing with the guards. Davar just turned to hate Arian. Because after witnessing her childish appearance, he is not pleasing to the eye. This adult 7-ball interface. At all, you're a child, don't dress like this. Let me say this one last time so you know I'm not a child. Whatever. Go ahead and take back that statement. At the same time Green, which Davar always struggled to find, hiding in another dungeon, and there is no other place than the trade castle. She lay flat on the bed with tears streaming down her face. Green can no longer return to the ancient core. Scene 85 ago. Once again reappeared in Green's memory. That is, when the Rapellia forest was burned down by humans. This place is protected by a spirit named Rapellia. She is also nicknamed the Earth Witch. Ancient core dungeon. Use this forest as your natural fortress. So the Davar at that time punished those who burned the forest with a brutal killing spree to make a good impression on Gabnia. That was also the first time he encountered drama. She was captured by humanity and locked in prison, although it has nothing to do with burning forests. But he was attracted to the little people locked in that dungeon. Green at that time was extremely small and pitiful, with the character of what black people should be. He should kill her too, to leave no witnesses to the massacre. But that day, I don't understand why. Black skin. Again, he only used his strength to destroy the dungeon. Now you are free if you want to go anywhere, go. However, I won't help you escape from here either. If you want to die because of it, jail here. Or if you want to get out, decide for yourself. Every once in a while, Rapellia is looking for a maid named Leo Lau. But there seems to be no one around here on the green anymore. So Davar assumed she was that person. After breaking the prison door, he immediately left. Anyway, Davar's curiosity benevolence. That's all it takes. Only greener is the 7 gods who sit there forever. Leo Lau is the name of a maid serving the homeowner. And also a title. To call the most talented maid. The Leo Lau that Davar was looking for was a head maid. While this tiny girl, never been called or addressed by that name. Because objects like her don't have names. But it's because of the events that day. In the heart of Green, it seems like a seed was planted. Over time, the roots begin to sprout. But the current Green is still hiding from the 7 gods. Hiding out at Jay's castle. Uspit really wanted to advise her. But Green firmly refused. Return to the core of hell. Uspit also doesn't want to force her at all. It's just that she knows with Devil and Patrick's personalities. Surely those 2 people are looking for Greens everywhere. And if they knew she was deceived by humanity, turned out like this, surely a bloody revenge will happen. If you're going to continue living like a ghost like this, then erase all your traces. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's okay to be clumsy. Patrick would understand her intentions and take care of himself. Uspit also revealed more about Nifrim's conquering team is coming, and the ancient core will be busy for several days. To deal with them, listen here. Green unconsciously curled his hand into a fist. Miss Esme's. Green plans to go to a faraway place, to breathe some fresh air. Uspist wants to stop it, because she saw that Green's right I was now a bit blurry. So I don't feel safe letting her go alone. But Green firmly insisted that he was fine, and just wanted to get my sword before leaving. Meanwhile, after entering the auction, Davar continued to use force against the guards, to interrogate information about beheadings. Through that he knew. This weapon was sent from the Wings Magic Tower, in Hashtin Town. After getting the information you need, Davar pardoned that guy and left with Arian. Go. Damn, that bastard almost killed me. I'm just a guard. Didn't do anything wrong. Go to hell, you bastard. The other guard thought Davar had gone away. Should curse in a low voice. Unexpectedly right after that, he appeared right behind him again like the angel of death. That's right, you didn't do anything wrong. But you were just unlucky and unintentional. It just makes me uncomfortable. Davide's body began to transform again, along with the terrifying flow of mana emitted. Only then did the other guy realize he was a monster. It's already too late. Davide has always hated humans. They call the massacre in more beautiful terms, like conquering or conquering. Then, using the name of justice, he rushed into the dungeon, killing, without feeling sorry for innocent creatures. Did they do anything wrong to deserve being killed? It's the same with me because you are my human enemy. That's why we do it. The end of that guard. Maybe there's no need to say it, everyone already knows it. At the same time, in the auction hall, someone bid 35 billion gold. Then it quickly increased to 70 billion. This time greed. The auction security guard has Gwyn and gas station, commander and deputy commander of the Black Tiger Corps. From beginning to end, the auction went very smoothly. So the two of them are planning to invite each other to eat something. But unexpectedly, the incident happened immediately after that. That's when the auctioneer announced, "I will show the third body," and the auction ends. This time it's behind my back. A group of tentacles suddenly appeared, then wrapped tightly around him. Who said that? I am the one who will end this auction. Both Gwyn and Garrett were surprised by this situation. Scared the hell out of me. On the stands, Daver appeared as half-human, half-demon. Extremely scary. You're all here to buy beheading nails, right? Gwyn is one of the 3 heroes of the Empire, along with Pearl and another person. But after the first conquest of the Hell Core, Pearl sacrificed her people. They have condemned a lot, because this is inherently a conquest based on personal needs. And this condemnation, by chance, has created great pressure for the remaining 2 heroes. But even so, Guinea still wholeheartedly protects the people. They are devoted to their country. So as soon as I saw it, the scene where Davar kills the auctioneer, she wanted to rush into battle immediately. Garrett is now the wiser man. She quickly stopped Gwyn. Maybe Gwyn is too hot, without knowing how to evaluate the danger of the opponent. But the Garrett has already seen it. The existence of that person in the stands is far beyond that. The so-called dangers are many. It was clearly destruction. Now the Gwyn rushes forward and the only way is death. Daver moved closer with decapitating claws. Even though I don't want to admit it, but this thing radiated too much of its owner's aura. So this is clearly not a fake. Daver affirmed even more. Be more certain in your work. Greener was attacked by humanity and had his weapons taken away. I'm sorry, but this item actually already has an owner. So I will return it to its owner. Saying sorry is like that. But Daver doesn't have any sincerity. It even carries some killing intent. Guests participating in the auction. It's impossible not to feel this killing intent. So they were both scared and panicked. He kept calling for the guards to quickly stop Daver. And I will tear you to pieces. And bury your bodies with this sword. Developer threatens almost every time. And this is not simply a threat. I really want to bring this whole auditorium buried with Green. Do you think I will let you do that? Jump up from the middle of the crowded crowd Gwyn, using the fastest speed possible, to rush straight towards Davidair. He silently assessed that his opponent was truly as fast as a squirrel. Smooth movement with very good combat equipment. But unfortunately she doesn't have outstanding talent. The proof is that Davidair just stood still. But the Gwyn also did not land correctly to attack you. Furthermore, she did not have any other weapons besides those gloves. A cruel thought appeared in Davidair's mind. In this case I should tear your hands apart, then grind it into many small pieces. There's something to be honest. Developer still rates this person quite highly. At least compared to the Pearl hero. She is not inferior at all. Gwyn used his crushing technique. Put all your strength into the Davar punch. Raise your bare hand to help. As a result, when his hand just collided with the gloves, that stiffness, he was thrown away. The scene became chaotic. Broken bricks and stones flew everywhere. Gwyn waited extremely nervously. But unfortunately Davir did not die. Haha, that's it. You are not a normal person either. As soon as his voice spoke, Ginny's hair stood up all at once. The crushing move she just used was a great move.
Destroyed a Dungeon Boss.
But it didn't leave any trace at all. Apocalyptic clone. Said to be able to withstand any 3 hits. Still destroyed with just 1 hit using that skill. Yet Davider still survived and was even healthy. Rigue stared at his opponent. The cruel face had pupils growing from the cheeks. The same black gas hovered around that body. No matter how you look at it, it doesn't look like a human. She was skeptical from the beginning. But now I can really feel that my skin is black. Not just an ordinary monster. He is something that exists. What the hell? Ginny is so stressed out. Eyes do not leave every gesture of the other person. Delager stood up, his teeth clenched together. Then his left 2 eyes glowed. At the same time, his face also revealed a cruel smile. Extremely barbaric. What a pity. Dark forces permeate space. Gwyn stood in one place as if frozen. It's not that I'm not aware of what's going on. It's because Davar's pressure is too great, causing her to temporarily not know what to do. At this moment, the stupid station also came from afar like crazy. His eyes were filled with despair. Damn it, don't come here. Stay away from us. The surrounding was as quiet as paper. Sir Swado, are you okay? Arian's voice pulled Davar back to reality. The child was very worried, because he thought that Davar could not be at peace. After Gwyn's attack, the situation just now was a complete mess. Even he didn't understand why he was still intact. Because of Gwyn's moves, clearly not like what normal humans do, can be rolled out. It was like directly hitting Davar's heart. So even, it still had enough strength to hit him and reveal his true form. That is truly the worst scenario. Just imagine Patrick's face, knowing that Davar's true form was revealed. It's because I feel pressured to death. But luckily that's not the case. Happened a while ago. Davar only focuses on wanting to take Ginny's life, without paying any attention to the garret. She was the one who evacuated all the guests, available in the auditorium, and at that last second, Garrett cast many protection spells on Gwyn. Success brought her out of the attack. But Davar is about to descend. Deverer will never forget those 2 faces. He gave a truly ironic smile. You guys are interesting. Garrus used teleportation magic to take Gwyn out. The 2 people landed in the middle of the street with 1 landing. Not very sore, but passersby saw the Gwyn and quickly gathered around. Her injury was not so light, so they hurriedly shouted for the healer to come. Gwyn struggled to sit up with everyone's help. Never before had she felt this humiliated. Tang Tang is a hero of the Empire, yet she was defeated by an unknown monster. With just 1 blow. Tell me if Gwyn knows. The one who defeated me was the master of the Hellcore. I guess I won't be criticized too much. But she didn't know. Just think Davar is an anonymous type. So I feel extremely dissatisfied.